Assalamu alaikum. As I was entering the hall and looked around and saw how powerful the gathering is, and then I looked at the sign there, the topic of the seminar, my heart started throbbing. And it didn't stop since then. And it was throbbing as I heard the speeches louder and louder, with expectations. Expectations that we raise on three magic words: judiciary, independence, and efficiency. These three words define the foundation of the society. And July uprising gave us the opportunity to build that civilization. And this is where we are, defining each step of that foundation. And I said my heart was throbbing, and it throbbed louder and louder. And it became loudest when I was listening to the Attorney General of Bangladesh, because he defined where we are coming from. And if you forget that, we will not understand what these three words mean. And today is a historic moment for all of us, because we are about to celebrate the anniversary of the uprising. It's almost a year now. Our young people defined their aspirations with their blood. And it's our job to make their dream come true, the dream of creating new Bangladesh. This is what we are talking about. This is step one. Nothing can work until we go back to these three words and establish them. And everything else is possible if you make this beginning in the right way. And thank you, Honorable Chief Justice, for elaborating every single step of the way, what the needs are, what we must do. So today, on this historic moment, let's pledge that we'll make it true, make it come. Because this opportunity will never come again. We must not let this slip away from us. And the heart that was throbbing will make that happen if you keep it throbbing until we achieve those words which is given as a theme for the seminar. Honorable Chief Justice of Bangladesh, an honorable guest, honorable ambassadors and high commissioners, I feel very privileged to be here today. For the very reason that I explained, this is where it all begins. If we cannot get this right, rest of it will not come right. So let's make sure we make it right. This seminar is particularly timely and significant, as I explained, as it has been convened during a pivotal period of reform of Bangladesh. Every nation awaits a moment of transformation, an opportunity to mark a new beginning. This is our moment. We want to redress the past anarchies, maladministration, despotism, and authoritarianism, and to set the country on a path of good governance and rule of law. Such moments are not engineered. They are the product of organic popular urge to dismantle old establishments and their vestiges. These movements have no single author. Rather, they symbolize our unity. Spontaneous in nature, they appear as a contradicting force, emerging to address injustices that have been inflicted on us in every aspect of our nation's life. These junctures thus hold the key to a nation's future. In human history, such opportunities are rare. Indeed, for many nations, they are rather a singular moment. And for us, this moment probably will never come back to us if we miss it. It's not only we miss it, it also gives us the warning that it will never come back. Therefore, these are moments of truth, profound reflections, and united efforts, shaping the fate of the entire nation. A nation's future, consequently, hinges critically on how it navigates these defining moments. Ladies and gentlemen, Bangladeshis are now living in such a critical moment, born from the sacrifices of the thousands of promising, bright, brave young lives. The July Revolution represents our nation's united stand against the injustices ingrained within our social, economic, and political fabric. Indeed, this awakening has come at the tragic cost of thousands of lives, leaving thousands more wounded. Now, we, the living, bear the solemn duty to realize the hopes and aspirations of the martyrdom and the wounded, of the martyred and the wounded. Our debt to them is limitless. We have a long road ahead to fulfill the promises of the July uprising. We bear an ingrained responsibility to honor the sacred memory of those who laid down their lives in July uprising. The sole way to discharge this burden is to ensure justice for the heinous crimes against the humanity committed during the months of July and August of 2024. Today, the nation stands united in its determination to hold the perpetrators accountable. In pursuit of this goal, 2 international crimes tribunals have been established to investigate and prosecute the crimes against humanity that occurred in July-August 2024. These tribunals are functioning with full independence, impartiality, and in compliance with due process. We are duty-bound to the nation to see this process through without delay. And I assure you, I remain fully committed to upholding this solemn responsibility. But we must keep in mind the July uprising was not merely about ousting a despotic regime. It was fueled by an intense desire to dismantle the deep-seated hegemonies and the biases that have persisted from the villages to the cities. Through the revolution, we aim to create a just society where liberty, equality, and dignity would guide all our actions. The uprising sought to break down the old order and rebuild the state so that no individual or party could ever become despotic or authoritarian. These hopes and aspirations now place upon us the daunting task of reimagining the state and redefining the boundaries of its key institutions. And today, we as stakeholders of this reform stand pledge-bound to do what we are owed. When we speak of reform, we are not talking about minor tweaks that will fall apart under the pressures of time and power. We speak of tasks left undone in the last 54 years since our independence. We speak of changes that will create a powerful democracy while ensuring that democratic aspirations do not twist into either authoritarian desires or populist yearnings. Using populist tactics to win elections and then abusing and manipulating the power structures, dismantling checks and balances, and turning oversight bodies into tools of oppression, these are common strategies from the autocratic playbook. The opportunity for reform endowed on us by the July Revolution presents us with the opportunity to design such mechanisms and power structures that can foil these autocratic maneuverings. The governance of the state in the 21st century presents distinct challenges to securing polities founded on democratic ideals. These challenges range from countering rising populism to repelling authoritarianism, illiberalism, and similar threats. Bangladesh has unfortunately experienced all of these challenges at various stages and varying degrees. It is widely argued that there is one institution, namely judiciary, that can play the most significant role in addressing these issues. That's why we are here today, to make sure we build the judiciary to make it happen. As an organ of the state, in line with the theory of separation of powers, the judiciary bears the responsibility to uphold and deliver justice, both broadly and individual cases. In the past years, however, have shown how the integrity of this vital institution has been undermined, to say the least. How the judiciary was co-opted to empower state machinery rather than limit it. How it was used to circumvent checks and balances, and how it was weaponized to clamp down on dissent. All of these have led us to this particular moment today, necessitating reforms so that the judiciary can reclaim its independence, efficiency, and a process initiated under the leadership of Honorable Chief Justice of Bangladesh and being undertaken by the Ministry of Law and Justice of the interim government. Distinguished guests, in considering reform initiatives, we must assess the effectiveness and credibility of various institutions and structures in shaping Bangladesh's future. The judiciary is no exception. It is a concerted effort to bring about meaningful change. Judiciary Reform Commission has been formed and it submitted its report grounded in deep research into the country's unique circumstances. The report of Judiciary Reform Commission is complemented by the Honorable Chief Justice's own vision of judiciary, which he outlined in his September 21, 2024 address, proposing reforms structured for short, mid, and long-term implementation. It is a promising development that the Commission's findings and Chief Justice's proposals converge on many key points, reflecting a shared commitment to their common objectives. The proposed reform cover a broad spectrum. Some focus on infrastructural upgradation and digital empowerment of courts and their staff. Others aim at enhanced judicial efficiency more generally. In advancing these reforms, the Supreme Court of Bangladesh has played a key role in drafting legislation for appointing judges to the apex court. The new tiered mechanism makes the appointment process transparent, accessible, and more reliable in selecting the best candidates. This is a milestone in freeing the higher judiciary from political influence by ensuring purely merit-based appointments. In order to safeguard the district judiciary from executive and political dominance, steps have been taken to formulate rules for judicial transfers. The creation of a separate secretariat is a proposal that we cannot walk away from. A separate secretariat would grant the judiciary the structural autonomy to adjudicate without external pressure. It is also commendable that as part of the reforms, the Supreme Judicial Council has been made fully operational, ensuring judicial accountability and independence. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Chief Justice for leading these reforms. His initiative in visiting every division of Bangladesh to garner support and inculcate consensus has fostered a strong sense of ownership in the process in all judicial officers and other stakeholders. In this demanding work of reforming the judiciary, we have not been alone. I'm very deeply grateful for the generous support provided by the European Union, UK, UNDP, Sweden, and our partners across the international community. If fully implemented, these reforms will mark a new dawn for Bangladesh, fulfilling the aspirations for which so many have sacrificed. Let us not dwell on the past obstacles. Instead, let us move forward, act decisively, and realize the dreams of our martyrs by building a society of equality, dignity, and liberty. Ensuring an independent and efficient judiciary will significantly advance these pursuits. The judiciary's leadership in driving this reform is truly inspiring. We are deeply committed in achieving an efficient and independent judiciary, and we look forward to its effective realization. The fate of these crucial aspirations and initiatives depends entirely on our collective efforts. We must bear in mind that our actions during this significant period will echo through time, and we'll make it happen. Thank you very much.